Welcome back to Magazine Minute. I'm Constance, and this is Christian, and today we're going to talk about the latest issue of the New American Magazine titled Trump versus Establishment. So as we all know, Trump is not the media's favorite, and I'm sure you agree, Christian.
Absolutely. Trump has earned quite the disdain from the media and the globalist elite in this campaign cycle. In this article, Jasper compares this present election to the 1964 presidential election, when we saw the same globalist Eastern establishment elements from the media and the political sphere using the same exact tactics against the then Republican presidential nominee Barry Goldwater, and which they're now using against Donald Trump. And so in this election cycle, from the establishment point of view, the choice is clear for them. Hillary Clinton is their girl, not my girl. And Donald Trump is the opposite of what they want. So this election is really more of a race between nationalism versus globalism, much like it was in 1964. In this issue of the magazine, we're covering not just the main vice presidential candidates from both major parties, we also cover some of the various third-party presidential candidates. So can you tell us a bit about Governor Johnson and Governor Weld?
His platform is kind of a mixture of fiscally conservative and socially tolerant. He's very different, in my opinion. He basically is for Black Lives Matter. He fully supports them, which is, with the recent events in Milwaukee, is surprising to me. He also supports same-sex marriage. He is for abortion. However, it is against his religious beliefs as well, but he likes to be for choices. He also is pro-TPP as well, which is very interesting. It's actually not said in this article, but it's good for the readers to know. And speaking of, he was also a strong supporter of Congressman Ron Paul's 2008 presidential campaign.
Absolutely. Governor Johnson looks like he's able to pull some disenfranchised Republicans, but also with him being a former Republican governor and his running mate as well. But then also these liberal positions that you've mentioned he's taken may even take some votes away from Hillary. And speaking of liberal votes, another candidate that's going to be on the ballot this year is the Green Party candidate Jill Stein and her running mate Ajumo Baraka. And essentially, Jill Stein, she's the candidate who makes Hillary Clinton look like a moderate. I mean, this woman is a principled socialist, if you will. She's been a longtime member with the Green Party, having run for governor of the state of Massachusetts, having run for the House of Representatives, all, of course, failing on the Green Party ticket. And she was even, just like Johnson, she was even the 2012 Green Party presidential nominee. In fact, during that election year, she broke the record for the most votes ever received for a female presidential candidate. Jill Stein believes in something called a Green New Deal, which is basically government investment, government jobs, but geared towards a green economy. Kind of like a lot of what Obama's been talking about, but with a mixture of FDR's New Deal, but headed in a very environmentalist direction. She's also endorsed the Black Lives Matter movement, hence the selection of her running mate, Ajumo Baraka. And Ajumo Baraka, his ideological roots can be traced way back to the Black liberation movement of the 1960s and 70s, which was a Marxist-Leninist movement dedicated to the self-determination of African Americans wishing to secede from the United States and to overthrow capitalism because they equate capitalism as racism, as part of a movement to install communism in its place, of course. One of the platforms of the Green Party for this year specifically states, quote, "The U.S. is obligated to render military assistance or service under UN command to enforce Security Council resolutions." One can argue that the U.S. foreign policy for the last several decades has been one of obeying UN resolutions, but the Green Party doesn't make any secrecy about it. They fully are committed to that, and they want to go a step further by putting our troops under UN command, which we haven't seen in a few decades, fortunately. So that pretty much covers the Green Party. If there's someone out there watching who's a Bernie Sanders supporter and they can't stand Hillary, they will more than likely end up probably voting for Jill Stein, since she is picking up the banner for the Sanders movement and Marxist-leaning revolution out there.
If you want to learn more about third-party candidates, as well as the Constitution Party, since we did not cover it in this video, you can get it in this issue at shopjbs.org.